Bryan Johnson isn't just a biohacker, he's a brand. After selling his payment company Braintree to eBay for $800 million in 2013, he funneled a fortune into a single obsession: reversing his biological age. His protocol, called Project Blueprint, costs an estimated $2 million per year. It involves over 100 supplements, a strict plant-based diet, daily blood tests, and a team of 30 doctors. But in June 2026, after a trip to Australia, Johnson admitted his skin had aged 5% in just 1 week. This raises a critical question: if his system is so robust, why did a single week of sunlight undo years of work? On June 22, 2026, Bryan Johnson posted on X that the Australian sun had increased his skin aging by 5% via UV damage and spots. He cited a 2017 Monash University study claiming Australian women age 10 to 20 years faster than US women, but the backlash was immediate. Critics accused him of cultural insensitivity and cherry-picking data. More importantly, this admission contradicted his core promise that his biohacking protocol could protect against environmental damage. If a week of sun exposure can age his skin 5%, what happens to the average person who can't afford a $2 million annual regimen? Kate Tolo, Johnson's 30-year-old girlfriend, claims her skin age is 21, 9 years younger than her chronological age. She credits Johnson's protocols, including hormone optimization, red light therapy, and a strict skincare routine. But here's the problem: skin age tests are notoriously unreliable. They measure factors like collagen density and UV damage, but they can be manipulated by temporary treatments like chemical peels or laser therapy. The real question isn't whether Tolo's skin looks younger, it's whether these results are sustainable or just a snapshot of a carefully curated moment. Johnson publishes his blood work online, but he controls the narrative. He shares metrics like his biological age of 45 at age 48, his VO2 max, and his telomere length, but he rarely discusses failures: the days when his glucose spiked, his sleep quality dropped, or his inflammation markers rose. In the Australia trip, he admitted his circadian rhythm was shocked and his prefrontal cortex weakened. This selective transparency is a hallmark of the biohacking industry. Followers see the wins, but the losses remain hidden. The question is, how much of his success is real, and how much is marketing? The 2017 Monash University study Johnson cited compared skin aging in Australian and US women. It found Australian women had more UV damage, but it didn't say they aged faster overall. The study controlled for lifestyle factors like smoking and diet, but not for genetics or healthcare access. Johnson used this study to justify his claim that the Australian sun aged his skin 5%. But the study's authors never claimed a 5% aging rate. That was Johnson's own calculation. This is a pattern: biohackers often misinterpret scientific data to fit their narrative, creating a false sense of authority. Johnson's $2 million annual budget includes a full-time medical team, daily blood draws, and experimental treatments like plasma transfusions from his teenage son. But for the average person, even a fraction of this cost is prohibitive. A single red light therapy session can cost $100. A full hormone panel is $500. And the supplements? Over $1,000 per month. The biohacking industry is projected to reach $83 billion by 2030, but it's a luxury good. The people who need anti-aging interventions the most, those with chronic diseases or limited access to healthcare, are priced out entirely. In 2024, Johnson's most controversial experiment involved receiving plasma transfusions from his 17-year-old son, Talmage. The goal was to see if young blood could reverse aging, but the FDA warned against the practice, citing risks of infection, allergic reactions, and unknown long-term effects. Johnson eventually stopped the treatments after seeing no measurable benefit. Yet the damage was done. Thousands of followers attempted similar transfusions at unregulated clinics. This highlights a dangerous trend in biohacking: wealthy individuals act as guinea pigs, and the public follows without understanding the risks. Johnson claims to sleep 8.5 hours per night, tracked by an Oura ring, but during the Australia trip, he admitted his sleep was disrupted, weakening his prefrontal cortex. This is critical because sleep is the foundation of his protocol. Without it, his cognitive function declines, his hunger signals increase, and his glucose regulation fails. Yet he still posted about his skin age, ignoring the fact that his sleep disruption likely caused more damage than the sun. This selective focus on skin aging, a cosmetic issue, while ignoring systemic health markers, is a classic biohacker misdirection. Johnson uses a continuous glucose monitor to track his blood sugar. In Australia, he noted that changes in diet greatly affected his levels, but he didn't share the numbers. Why? Because glucose spikes are a key metric of aging. High variability in blood sugar is linked to inflammation, oxidative stress, and accelerated aging. If Johnson's glucose spiked significantly during his trip, it would undermine his claim of biological youth. By hiding this data, he protects his brand. But it also reveals a fundamental truth: biohacking is easier in a controlled environment than in the real world. Johnson has over 1.5 million followers on X, many of whom treat his protocols as gospel. They buy his supplements, follow his diet, and mimic his blood tests. But this creates a dangerous dynamic. When Johnson fails, his followers internalize it as their own failure. If his skin aged 5% in Australia, they think they must be doing something wrong. This psychological manipulation is a hallmark of modern influencer culture. Johnson isn't just selling a product, he's selling an identity, and that identity depends on his infallibility. Aging is a complex process involving telomere shortening, epigenetic changes, mitochondrial dysfunction, and cellular senescence. No single protocol can reverse all of these. Johnson's focus on skin age, glucose levels, and sleep is a narrow slice of a much larger puzzle. The most effective anti-aging interventions, calorie restriction, exercise, and stress management, are free. Yet Johnson's followers spend thousands on supplements and treatments that have little evidence. The irony is that the best biohacking advice is also the cheapest: eat well, sleep well, move your body, and avoid the sun. Despite the criticism, Johnson has accelerated public interest in longevity science. Companies like Altos Labs and Calico are investing billions in cellular reprogramming and anti-aging therapies. Johnson's high-profile experiments, while flawed, have pushed the conversation forward. But the danger is that his celebrity status overshadows real science. The future of longevity won't be built on $2 million protocols, it will be built on accessible, evidence-based interventions. Johnson's legacy may be that he made aging a topic of global discussion, but his methods will likely be remembered as a cautionary tale. Remember the question we started with: why biohackers hide their blood work? Now you know the truth. Bryan Johnson's 5% skin aging isn't a failure of his system, it's proof that no system can cheat reality.